Hello everyone, it's me Clayton. I just finished watching He-Man Masters in the Universe Revelation, the latest He-Man series released on Netflix, which is run by Kevin Smith. Yes, he's the showrunner for this one. And by the Power of Grayskull has this been a controversial series. Mainly because the series received a lot of negative attention when several images of the show first came out. And when it came to the fact that several rumors came around when it came to Teela being the main focus of the series, it was certainly one of those shows where it was one that has a big divide between the critics and the fans, where the critics practically give it glowing reviews all across the board, whereas the fans of He-Man were furious over this series. But where do I stand? Well, let's get to the story, shall we? The story of He-Man Masters of the Universe Revelation is that we start the series off with He-Man and Skeletor going to supposedly their final battle, until said final battle ends up not only destroying the two of them, but also ends up destroying the source of magic and all throughout Eternia. And when Teela figures out that Prince Adam is He-Man, she feels betrayed and decides to live a life away from magic, until she has to get a team of friends, both hero and villain, in order to bring magic back to Eternia, because if both sides don't work together, then Eternia is basically boned. That's all I'll say about the story. Honestly, I wouldn't have minded it being Teela's series if they just called it Teela's series from the beginning. If Kevin Smith didn't straight up lie to his fans, I wouldn't have had a problem with it. But the fact that he doubled down on this sort of thing and belittled his detractors while lying to the fans, it's pretty hard to forgive in that respect. And it really is a shame too, because I do like a lot of stuff about this series. Powerhouse Animation does the animation for the series, and if you know how I feel about the Castlevania series, you know that I love most of their work. And yeah, the action scenes, most of the character designs that honor the original '80s series, and most of the environments are unbelievably great. The voice acting is also awesome. You have Mark Hamill as Skeletor, you have Sarah Michelle Gellar as Teela, you have Kevin Conroy as Merman, you have just tons of other great actors, both in film and in voice acting scenes, who just happen to do great jobs with these iconic characters. But it's the story and how much of a bait and switch it is. That's the big problem here. If it really wanted to honor the Masters of the Universe, it would have put He-Man front and center, and it would have actually made it feel like, well, a Masters of the Universe series. I mean, it feels more like a completely different show at times with a Masters of the Universe paint job. A good paint job, but it honestly doesn't feel like Kevin Smith really respects the series as much as he claims to. Especially when it comes to really odd decisions when it comes to certain characters and how they're presented, like Teela, like Adam, like Evelyn. It just feels like either he didn't understand a lot of this stuff about He-Man as a franchise, or he did and he just didn't care about how the fans felt about it. So that's where I stand. On one hand, I wouldn't have had a problem with it being a Teela series if he just straight up admitted it from the beginning, but I also feel there are some good things in the series, like some interesting plot twists and ideas, and some genuinely cool moments that I would love to see more of. So it's actually got quite a mixed bag when it comes to my overall opinion. So I guess I'll just give it a 6 out of 10. I'll see the second part when it comes out, but man, this ended up being so much more heated than it really had to be. See you next time.